What's up, traders and investors? Wes, aka Norok, back again with another video. I'm really excited to make this one because there's a great opportunity going on right now, not just for opportunity and profit, but also to reinforce what I've been trying to teach in my past videos. I'm really glad to have started making videos for Best of Us investors when I did, because in the last few videos, I was able to lay out one of my fundamental principles about finding trading opportunities, and that is false breakouts. And I believe that is exactly what we are seeing right now in the stock market indexes. So I'm glad I laid that foundation. And if you need to review, go back and look at my first two videos where I talked about looking for false breakouts for either preventing a reverse that goes against you or as an opportunity to get into a position. Just as a quick recap, on the video, I talked about Spotify. That was my example that I used. And what happens is when you have price come up to either a major high or low, you have a single bar that goes above it, breaks that high only to close back inside that range. That is a false breakout. It gets everybody thinking that the price is going to go one way and it slams back down, and now everybody's got to get out. That is what I see happening right now in the stock market indexes, whether you're looking at the QQQ, which is the Nasdaq ETF, or if you're looking at SPY. Let's go back and take a look in history and see how this set up. And we're going to talk about what this means to me, how I'm positioning myself. And at the end, I'll give you the bonus of what I did last Thursday for my own personal portfolio. So let me have a little bit of a moment here to talk about news trading. I know that over the last week, with all this Russia invading Ukraine, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, I call it FUD, FUD, people have been very confused. Everyone thought last Wednesday night when the invasion was happening that this was going to tank the market. This was going to be the catalyst to start the next crash that everybody on the financial news and all the YouTubes with thousands and thousands of views talk about. That's because fear sells. I really don't think that I need to even watch the news to trade the market. Yes, I said it. The news is not there to inform people anymore. The news is there to sell advertisements. If you happen to get informed by watching the news, it's kind of a byproduct. They want to put out as much fear as they can to keep you glued to their content. And at the end of the day, a lot of people last week were asking, what does this mean? Why did the market snap back so quickly? Why? I don't understand it. Why? I don't care. I really don't. Everything I need to know to find opportunity is on the chart. That is my philosophy. I think that when people focus too much time on it, they actually get confused. You miss opportunity because you get thinking one way and you miss what's clear as day. And what's happening to me is clear. And I'll show you here in just a second. But let's go back and talk about the January 24th, 2022 low. That's going to define pretty much everything going forward this quarter and possibly the year. So remember, we came down on interest rate fears. That was the fear that they were telling us why the market was coming down. It wasn't because it's been going up for the last 2 years and needed to have a correction. No, because reasons. Remember, before that, the reasons the market would go down was because of coronavirus, infections and deaths. It's one thing after another to sell ads. You don't need to pay any attention to it. Just look at the price for opportunity. If you don't believe me, keep watching my videos. I'm going to show you what I see in these price actions and why I don't care. That's related videos. So the 24th low is what really set everything up. Let's go back to the QQQ. I really want to look at that one as well. So let's draw out that level. I'm using the bar replay feature so we don't get confused by what we see there. All right, so there's the low on the 24th of January. Now, what I talked about to some of my people that I talk to on an individual basis is I was looking for this to be the correction. Now, every 2 years, you get about a 10 to 15% correction on the market, the S&P 500. This is normal. And yet every time the market goes down a few percentage points, everyone assumes that this is going to be the crash to end all crashes. Again, fear sells, but it doesn't help people find opportunity. Now, we had a little extra oomph here on the 24th. We had a pullback to the 50% level of the pullback. Now, that's not the purpose of this video. I know we're looking at it back in hindsight, and it's easy to look back in hindsight. I'm not saying that you had to take it or should have taken it here. I just want to point this out because in my last video, I talked about the 50% retracements, and that's going to keep coming up in my videos because that's what I always look for. Price comes back to here, and then we had the Tuesday of last week, which was February the 23rd, the day before the invasion. There were still rumors of it, troops were moving, blah, 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 blah. Then comes Wednesday night. And let's look at the futures, actually, the Nasdaq futures, to see what that better illustrates what was going on that night. So this was Wednesday night of last week, of February the 23rd, down, 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 down into the wee hours of the morning. And then at 9:30 at the market open on Thursday, price shot up. Why did it do that? I don't know. I didn't take a poll of every market participant to know. Putin doesn't call me and tell me what he's going to do, nor does Biden. I'm not going to get that information. But what I can see is what the price did. Let's go back to the QQQ and look at it. So if you remember, one of my fundamental principles is looking for false breakouts. And if we take that the January 24th low was the key for this breakout, we had that close below it on Tuesday, and then we had this really scary drop on Wednesday night. The open Thursday was very low, and it shot back up. More importantly, it got back above that last low, the January 24th low. It also got price back up into the range. The market has revealed itself to me. By doing this, it got all the bears thinking that this was going to be that crash they keep talking about, that they keep fearing, only to rip it up higher, and now they don't know what to do. As a trader, this is what it lets me do. I do not know the future. I don't know if you've read the book. I highly recommend it, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. I'll give you the TLDR. Every single chapter in that book is centered around one simple principle. Anything can happen. And I have internalized that. So it could be a bearish setup. In other words, price could come down and break the Thursday low, and then we go lower. That could happen. But with this false breakout, potential reversal, I'm going to operate under the thesis that we are going back up to retest the high. More importantly, I know when that's wrong. I'm not going to be stuck holding the bags, stuck holding positions if we break last Thursday's low. I'm going to stop out below that low because then it's real to me. Then it's real. And so what that lets me do is it lets me set up my risk. I'm going to set up my risk right below the stop. I put a stop loss below the low of Thursday, the false breakout low. And that lets me define my risk. Now, we got a really nice pullback on the QQQ on Friday, and then actually on the NASDAQ futures, it did a very good pullback overnight to this, what I call the entry level here. And that is, again, for 2 days, and looks like into today, we are holding that range with that false breakout tricking everyone. And so here's what we're going to do. We know that we can possibly get an entry here. I know we're making this video a little bit late. That's okay. We're going to talk about that. And then my stop where I'm wrong is here. I have defined my risk. I know when I'm wrong. I'm not going to question it. That's when I flip bearish and I start looking to adjust my portfolio accordingly, but not until then. Until then, I'm going to try to take this back up to the all-time high. And that sets up a very nice, almost 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio. You do that again and again, even if you're wrong more than you're right, you're still going to make money. And that is one of the fundamental concepts of my trading that I rely on is false breakouts, defining my risk, and letting me have an advantageous reward to risk. Small risk, big reward. And then I know where I'm wrong, so I don't have to question it. That's what's going on right now. Hashtag not financial advice. Maybe you don't want to take a futures contract. Maybe you can do it with QQQs. Maybe you can do it with SPY. I'm not telling you what to do. This is just what I'm looking. My thesis from now for the next few months, as long as we hold Thursday's low, is bullish. I'm going to be looking for bullish opportunities in stocks. I'm going to be looking for bullish opportunities in futures, and I'm going to be looking for bullish opportunities in options. That is my sentiment until that defining line. And that is something I'm very glad to share with you all because I laid the foundation in the past two videos to look at this. Now, even if this doesn't work out, this is going to be a textbook example of what I want to teach in my videos to anyone that decides to watch. You can go and watch a bunch of other YouTube channels. They're going to yell about the latest animal coin, dog coin. There's even a cat coin now. That can be a lot more fun. This is useful, and I believe in it. And again, it has nothing to do with what Russia does or trying to figure that out. I can see the market participants, their psychology in the chart and act accordingly. Oh yeah, I promised you a bonus. So what I did on Thursday on this dip, I actually got both of my concepts put together into a single opportunity. Waste Management is a company that I have been in for many, many, many years. It made sense to me because everyone always needs to have their trash taken out, and they are a profitable company. What I was looking was a 50% retracement, which I talked about in my last video, from the launch of this trend right here. And hopefully you all had your alerts set up from Thursday or before Thursday so that you knew when we got a pullback that it was opportunity. Additionally, I also got one of those false breakouts where price had established a range here on February 14th. We broke that low, and I was able to catch a long entry at the open along with some other things, and I'm able to take it up for a swing trade that looks something like this, which I then hope to hold to be a long trade, a long-term trade, and then even take it up to the high. So I'm able to define my risk very, very small in this entry on something happening on a daily or a weekly time frame in a stock that I already like. That's me putting my two fundamental precepts together. But I want you all to take note of this, bookmark this video, come back and watch it. This is going to be the defining moment of this quarter and possibly next quarter, this last Thursday low right here. We either hold it and we go back up to the all-time high over a period of time, or we break it and we get that thing people keep on trying to make you scared of, that big crash that really only happens every 10 years. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to doing another video in a week. Trade wisely.